Hello everybody, how are you? We have finally come to the final part of our course, the present perfect. Now, I know many of you have seen the present perfect many times before. And for some of you, the present perfect is very familiar, and for some of you, it is not familiar at all. So I'll try to simplify it for you. The first thing you need to understand about the present perfect is that the present perfect is really not the present. It's not about the present. Present perfect is talking about the past, okay? It's talking about an action that happened or started in the past. We will talk about the different situations where you use present perfect, but the first thing you need to know is present perfect is the past. Oh, Marcelo, but how is that different from the simple past? We will get there, okay? Well, before we talk about all the details of how it's different from the simple past, I wanted to talk to you about the structure. How is the present perfect formed? How do you know that you have a present perfect structure? Well, basically, what you need to form present perfect sentences is 1. The auxiliary verb have. Now, very important, the auxiliary verb have. It's not the verb have. It's not the possession verb have. It's not I have a car. No, this have here is like do or does. It's like will. It's like going to. It's an auxiliary verb, and it has no meaning. The only thing that this verb does is to indicate that the sentence is in the present perfect construction, okay? So first thing you need have or has. If I'm using a pronoun I, you, we, or they, I will use have. And if I'm using he, she, or it, has. That's the first thing. Now, the second thing about the present perfect, the second mandatory thing for present perfect is the participle. You're going to need the participle of the verb. Now, what is the participle? To make things very simple for you, if you have a regular verb, the participle is the past for regular verbs. So, play, the past of play is played, and the participle is also played. So, play, played, played. That is for regular verbs. So, cook, cook, cooked, and cooked. Okay, the participle will be the past. Now, if we're talking about irregular verbs, then we have a problem. Because irregular verbs, as we talked before, they changed. So sometimes the participle is one, sometimes it's different. There is no rule, so what you have to do is you have to memorize. For example, look at this. This is the verb write. So for the verb write, the past of the verb write is wrote. And the participle is written. You see? Write, wrote, and written. It's an irregular verb, and I'm using three different forms. Now, if I get another verb, for example, the verb become, it's going to be become, became, and the participle is going to be become again, just like the present. So you see, there is really no rule or pattern. You have to memorize irregular verbs, okay? You have to memorize all three forms, present, past, and participle. Especially now that we're going to start using present perfect, okay? So to summarize this first video about the present perfect, first of all, present perfect is used in the past. We are talking about actions that started in the past. That's the first thing. Now, the second thing is for you to construct present perfect sentences, you need the auxiliary verb have or has and the participle of the verb. If it's a regular verb, it's the past, ed, right? Play, played. If it's irregular verb, you have to remember what it is, okay? I'll leave in the supplementary material, I'll leave a link so you can go to and you can find the list of the most common verbs and most common irregular verbs, and you can check the third column for their participle forms, okay? In the next video, we're actually going to start using present perfect in certain sentences. I'll see you then. Thank you. Bye-bye.